I was folding laundry when I found the receipt. A $15,000 diamond necklace from Cartier, purchased 3 days ago. Our anniversary had been 2 months prior. Trevor gave me flowers from the grocery store. I told myself there was an explanation. There always was with Trevor. But when I opened his laptop to check our joint account, I found the emails instead. Hundreds of them. To Sienna Cross, his 24-year-old executive assistant. My hands shook as I read words my husband of 8 years had never said to me. "You're the only one who truly understands me." My wife stopped trying years ago. She let herself go after the kids. I was 32, in the middle of chemotherapy for breast cancer, and my husband was cheating on me with his secretary. 3 months earlier, I'd found the lump during a self-exam. Stage 2 breast cancer. Treatable, my doctor said, but aggressive. When I told Trevor, he stared at me like I'd ruined his day. "This is terrible timing, Nat. We're in the middle of a major acquisition. I don't know, handle this quietly. Handle cancer quietly." I did. I scheduled chemo around his business dinners. I wore scarves so clients wouldn't see my hair loss. I smiled through the pain because Trevor needed me to keep the house running, the kids cared for, and his image intact. Bonko Technologies, the company we'd started in our garage 10 years ago, was worth $600 million. Trevor was the celebrated CEO. I was the invisible wife who'd sacrificed her own career to support his. Except I'd done more than support. I built everything. Trevor and I met at MIT. I was top of the computer science program. He was charming but academically average. We fell in love over late-night coding sessions, except I did the coding while he brought coffee and made me laugh. After graduation, we started Bonko together. I developed the proprietary algorithms that made our software revolutionary. Trevor handled sales and investor relations. But when I got pregnant with twins Oliver and Emma, Trevor convinced me to step back. "The stress isn't good for the babies. Let me handle the company. You can consult from home." I agreed. I became a stay-at-home mom who helped occasionally, while Trevor claimed my work as his own. Every innovation, every patent, every breakthrough, my code, his name. By the time Lily was born 2 years ago, I disappeared from Bonko entirely. No equity, no title, just the CEO's supportive wife. Trevor filed for divorce 1 week after my second chemo treatment. His lawyer delivered papers while I was too weak to stand. The grounds: irreconcilable differences and inability to support husband's ambitions. I called Trevor, hands shaking. "You're divorcing me while I have cancer. Natalie, we've grown apart. You stopped being a partner in my success. I need someone who understands my vision. I built your vision. Every line of code. That's ancient history. You've been out of the game for years. Let's not make this ugly. Sign the papers, take your support payments, and let's both move on." "What about the kids?" "I'm filing for primary custody. Your medical condition makes you unstable. My mother's already agreed to testify." The line went dead. Trevor's lawyer was ruthless. The prenup I'd signed while 8 months pregnant, exhausted, hormonal, trusting, gave me almost nothing. "Your contributions to Bonko ended when you stopped working there," his lawyer argued. "You're entitled to spousal support, nothing more." My court-appointed lawyer, overworked and underpaid, could barely fight back. "Your Honor, Mrs. Bancroft developed the core technology 8 years ago. She has no documentation of recent contributions. The prenup is clear." I watched my life dissolve in legal proceedings. Trevor got the house, the cars, his company. I got $8,000 monthly support and supervised visitation with my own children because the judge deemed me medically unreliable. 3 weeks later, Trevor married Sienna in a ceremony covered by lifestyle magazines. $8,000 sounds like a lot until you're paying for rent, medical bills, and lawyers fighting for custody. My cancer went into remission, but I was weak and unemployed. 8 years out of tech with no recent experience. No one would hire me. I lived in a women's shelter for 2 months. Then couch-surfed with the few friends who still believed me. Finally got a studio apartment in a rough neighborhood. I worked at a coffee shop for minimum wage. Saw my kids one weekend per month. Supervised visits where Oliver and Emma cried and asked when mommy was coming home. Trevor started reducing support payments, claiming business difficulties. He lived in our 4-bedroom house with Sienna while I scraped together rent. I was 33 years old, cancer survivor, separated from my children, and utterly broken. I was working my shift at the coffee shop when 2 men in expensive suits sat near the counter. Have you seen Bonko's new release? Revolutionary AI integration. Bancroft's a genius. How does he keep innovating like this? I froze, coffee pot in hand, because I recognized the code they were describing. I wrote it 4 years ago, from my home office while Lily napped. My hand started shaking so badly I nearly dropped the pot. That night I went home and did something probably illegal. I accessed Bonko's servers using old passwords Trevor never changed. What I found made my blood run cold. Every innovation Bonko had released since I stopped working, there was code I'd written during our marriage. Files with my digital signature, my coding style, my comments, all presented as Trevor's work. I dug deeper. Patent filings, copyright registrations. Everything listed Trevor as sole creator. But I had backups. Old hard drives from our home office, timestamp files, emails where I'd sent Trevor code to review. Trevor hadn't just stolen credit for my work. He'd built his entire empire on it. And he had no idea I could prove it. I spent 3 days reviewing every file, every patent, every line of code. Then I understood something that changed everything. Trevor didn't actually know how to code. He never had. Admittedly, I'd helped him with his assignments. After graduation, I'd built Bonko while he charmed investors. During our marriage, I'd solved every technical problem while he took credit. Without me, Trevor was just a smooth-talking salesman pretending to be a tech genius. Bonko was built on a lie. And that lie was about to go public in an IPO worth billions. In that moment I stopped crying. Stopped feeling sorry for myself. Started planning. I legally changed my name to Nora Sterling and moved 3 states away. Kept minimal contact. Only what the custody agreement required. I got a remote job at a small tech startup under my new identity. Entry level despite my skills. I kept my head down and worked my way up. Within 6 months I was lead developer. Within a year I was their chief technical officer. I saved every penny. Lived in a tiny apartment. Worked 70-hour weeks. And I built something in secret. Using my old code as a foundation, I developed something revolutionary. Everything Bonko did, but better, faster, more efficient. I filed patents under my new name. Created detailed documentation. Built a prototype that worked flawlessly. Then I found Patricia Zhou, a brilliant businesswoman who'd been pushed out of tech by men taking credit for her work. She understood exactly what I was doing. You want me to be the public face while you stay hidden? She asked. For now. Until the timing's right. She smiled. This is going to be fun. At age 36, 3 years after Trevor destroyed me, we launched Sterling Tech. Patricia was the CEO. I was the anonymous founder and chief architect. We offered B2B software solutions that directly competed with Bonko. But our product was superior. Because I'd had 3 years to improve on my own original work while Trevor stagnated. We undercut Bonko's pricing by 30%. Offered better customer service. Delivered more reliable software. Within 6 months, we'd stolen 15 major clients from Bonko. Trevor's company felt the impact immediately. Bonko's stock price started dropping. Investors asked questions. Why was this startup outperforming them? Trevor couldn't answer. He didn't understand his own technology well enough to innovate past it. Dennis Calloway, Trevor's co-founder, started digging through old code. Trevor, who wrote the core algorithms. I can't find your signature anywhere. I did. Obviously. Years ago. Then why can't you fix the integration issues we're having? I'm the CEO. I have people for that. But those people couldn't replicate my work. They tried and failed repeatedly. Meanwhile, Sterling Tech kept growing. Within 2 years, we'd captured 40% of Bonko's market share. Bonko's planned IPO was delayed, then cancelled. Investors panicked. Major clients sued for breach of contract when systems failed. The lawsuits revealed something damning. Bonko couldn't maintain its own software. Trevor's perfect image cracked. Media questioned how a tech genius couldn't fix his own products. His marriage to Sienna deteriorated. She'd married money and status. Both were evaporating. Trevor started drinking, missing meetings. His board discussed replacing him. I watched from my anonymous perch and felt nothing but cold satisfaction. My old phone number, the one I kept for the kids, rang on a Tuesday morning. Natalie. It's Dennis Calloway from Bonko. I hadn't heard that name in years. How did you get this number? I've been trying to reach you for weeks. Natalie, I found old code with your signature. I realized. You built Bonko, didn't you? Everything. Trevor's been taking credit for your work. Silence. We need your help. The company's failing. 3 months from bankruptcy. 300 people will lose their jobs. I know you probably hate us, but does Trevor know you're calling? God, no. He'd never admit he needs you. But Natalie, you're the only one who can save this. Let me think about it. I'll call you back. I hung up and smiled. Instead of calling Dennis back, I called a press conference. As Nora Sterling, Sterling Tech's mysterious founder, I appeared publicly for the first time. My name is Nora Sterling. But 7 years ago, I was Natalie Bancroft. I'm the actual creator of every technology Bonko Technologies claims as proprietary. I have proof that CEO Trevor Bancroft built his empire on stolen work he claimed as his own while abandoning me during cancer treatment. I presented documentation, code comparisons, timestamps, expert testimony. The tech world exploded. Bonko's stock crashed 60% in 1 day. Criminal investigations launched. Trevor's reputation disintegrated. Media descended. Tech CEO's empire built on stolen work from ex-wife. Trevor called me screaming. You destroyed me. Years of work. My work, Trevor. You just presented it. I'll sue you for defamation. With what money? Your company's worthless. Try it. I have 10 years of evidence. He hung up. Within a week, Sienna filed for divorce. I approached Bonko's board with a proposal. I'd save the company. I had the knowledge, the code, the vision. But my terms were non-negotiable. 1. Trevor removed as CEO, 0 severance. 2. I get 60% equity and full control. 3. All patents corrected to show me as original creator. 4. Dennis Calloway resigns for enabling Trevor's theft. 5. Every employee gets back pay and profit sharing. The board deliberated for 6 hours. They accepted. Trevor showed up at corporate headquarters, now my headquarters, for the transition meeting. He looked terrible. Unshaven, 20 pounds lighter, hollow-eyed. Natalie, please. I made mistakes, but we built this together. No, Trevor. Built it. You took credit. I'll lose everything. Now you know how it feels. What about the kids? You've seen them twice in 5 years. Don't pretend this is about them. His facade cracked. You vindictive. Security escorted him out before he could finish. As Trevor left, I delivered my final blow. By the way, that prenup, the one I signed while 8 months pregnant, I had it reviewed. Turns out prenups aren't enforceable if signed under duress or if one party commits fraud, like claiming sole credit for joint marital work. Trevor's face went white. What are you saying? I'm suing you for 50% of everything Bonko earned during our marriage. Roughly $300 million, plus damages for fraud and emotional distress. I don't have that. I know. So you'll be paying it off the rest of your life. Just like I had to rebuild mine. With financial stability restored, I reopened the custody case. My lawyers presented evidence of Trevor's neglect. Missed visitations, forgotten birthdays, zero involvement in the kids' lives. Meanwhile, I'd been fighting for every minute with my children while working 3 jobs. The judge reviewed the evidence. Mr. Bancroft, you claimed Mrs. Bancroft was unfit due to medical issues. Yet she's been in remission for 4 years and maintained steady employment. Meanwhile, you've seen your children twice in 5 years. I was building a business. A business built on your ex-wife's stolen work, according to recent findings. I won full custody. Trevor got supervised visitation, which he rarely used. I rebranded the company. Bonko became Sterling Systems. New name, new leadership, new mission. I promoted from within. Hired more women. Implemented profit sharing. Created a culture based on innovation, not ego. The company stabilized within 6 months. Within a year, we'd regained most of our lost clients. Patricia Zhou became my CEO. Together we built something better than Bonko ever was. Because this time the right person got credit. Trevor got a job as a regional sales manager at a mid-sized tech firm. $85,000 a year. Good money for most people, but a devastating fall for him. His paycheck was garnished monthly to pay his debt to me. He lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Drove a used car. Maureen, his mother, called me once to beg for leniency. You're destroying my son. Your son destroyed himself. I'm just collecting what he owes. She hung up. We never spoke again. Trevor would be paying me for the next 30 years. Oliver and Emma, now 12, moved into my new house. Not the old one with too many bad memories, but a bright, spacious home filled with light. Lily, now 8, had her own room for the first time in years. Mom, is it true Dad stole your work? Oliver asked one night. I'd been dreading this conversation. Yes, sweetheart. He did. That's why we couldn't live with you. Because he lied. Partly. But it's over now. We're together. That's what matters. Emma hugged me. You're the smartest person I know, Mom. I'm going to be just like you. My heart broke and healed simultaneously. 5 years after Trevor threw me away, I stood in my corner office overlooking the city. Sterling Systems was worth $1.2 billion. I owned 60%. My children were thriving. My cancer remained in remission. Trevor was a cautionary tale in the tech world. The CEO who stole his wife's genius and lost everything. I received a message from Dennis Calloway, who'd started his own ethical startup. Thank you for not destroying everyone to get to Trevor. You saved 300 jobs when you could have burned it all down. I replied simply, I'm not interested in destruction. I'm interested in building what I deserve. That night I tucked my kids into bed, in our home together finally, and realized something profound. The greatest revenge wasn't destroying Trevor. It was taking back everything he stole and building a life so successful, so fulfilling, that his betrayal became irrelevant. I didn't just survive. I won. Not because I crushed him, but because I became everything he pretended to be, except real. My name was finally on my work. My children finally had their mother. My life was finally my own. Trevor took everything from me once. But I took it back, with interest. And that was the sweetest victory of all.